Being lonely alone is better than being miserable together. Have you ever heard that before? Most human suffering comes from not being able to be alone. These words carry a weight that only those who've lived long enough truly understand. Many older men find themselves at a crossroads. The house feels quiet, meals feel empty. Friends suggest finding someone new. Family members worry about you being alone, and suddenly remarriage seems like the answer. But what if it's not? What if remarrying after 60 could quietly undo the peace, stability, and financial security you've worked your entire life to build? I've spent over 20 years researching senior wellness, reading medical journals, and interviewing healthcare professionals. And today I need to share something that experts warn about, but most people never discuss openly: remarriage after 60. Someone once shared this advice. Even if you're standing at the altar, even if guests are seated, even if everything is ready, if something feels wrong, cancel it. The temporary embarrassment is nothing compared to years of regret. Think about that. Because here's what nobody tells you: love and marriage are not the same thing, especially after 60. Medical professionals, relationship psychologists, and even divorce attorneys see patterns repeatedly. Patterns most senior men don't recognize until it's too late. Today I'm going to share 5 expert-backed reasons why senior men should think very carefully before remarrying. These aren't opinions. These are realities that financial advisors, healthcare workers, and family counselors witness every day. If you're watching this, whether you're considering remarriage or you know someone who is, please watch until the end. This information could change everything. Hit that like button, leave a comment sharing your thoughts, and let's begin. 1. Financial risk. The first reason experts warn against remarriage after 60 is financial. By the time a man reaches his 60s or 70s, he's usually built something solid: a home, retirement savings, social security benefits, maybe a pension, investments, decades of work, decades of careful planning. Remarrying, however, can legally tie all of that to another person in ways most men never see coming. Financial planners call this the silent wealth transfer, and they say it's one of the biggest risks a senior man can take. Here's what happens. Robert was 72 when he met Patricia at a community center in Seattle. She was kind, attentive, and made him laugh for the first time in years since his wife passed away. 6 months later, they married. Within 2 years, Robert discovered Patricia had significant credit card debt, medical bills from a previous illness, and adult children who needed financial help constantly. Suddenly, Robert's retirement savings weren't just his anymore. They were legally connected to Patricia's obligations. His financial advisor later said, "Robert came to my office in tears. He said, 'I thought love would protect me. I didn't know a marriage license would change everything.'" Medical professionals who work with seniors see this pattern constantly. If your new spouse has debt, it can become yours. If she has health issues requiring expensive care, those costs can drain your retirement funds. You could lose benefits from your late wife's pension or Social Security survivor benefits. A simple signature on a marriage license changes everything: your tax bracket, your will, your estate planning. Lawyers who handle senior divorces will tell you stories that would break your heart. Men who lost their homes, their savings, and their peace of mind within a few years. One divorce attorney told me, "I've seen men in their 70s working part-time jobs because their second wife took half of everything in the divorce." These are men who should be retired enjoying grandchildren. Instead, they're stocking shelves to survive. Some people say that's cynical, that it's not trusting love, but here's the truth. Love doesn't hold up in court, contracts do. Experts say that at this stage, it's wiser to protect what you've built rather than gamble it on a legal arrangement. Because companionship doesn't require paperwork. You can love someone, share experiences, travel together, support each other, all without putting your entire estate on the line. Think about what you've built: your home, your savings, the inheritance you plan to leave your children or grandchildren. Is it worth risking all of that? Financial experts are clear: remarriage after 60 is often the single biggest financial risk senior men face. 2. Emotional freedom. The second reason experts warn against remarriage is emotional. After 60, something changes in a man's priorities. You've spent decades navigating responsibilities, raising children, managing careers, supporting others, making compromises. Finally, you reach a stage where you can breathe. You can wake up when you want, eat what you want, watch what you want, and make decisions based solely on what brings you peace. Psychologists call this late life autonomy, and it's precious. Remarriage can pull you right back into patterns of duty and compromise. Relationship experts say emotional compatibility often becomes harder with age because people become more set in their routines. Two seniors entering marriage bring decades of habits and emotional patterns, and those patterns don't always blend smoothly. Arguments can start over small things: the thermostat, television, weekend plans, or family visits. Many men later realize what they truly wanted wasn't another marriage. They wanted quiet companionship and emotional rest. One senior man told a psychologist, "I traded my peace for companionship. Now I have neither." Medical professionals say stressful relationships later in life can increase blood pressure, depression, and sleep problems. Companionship is important, but experts say relationships at this stage should prioritize independence, respect, and emotional balance, not legal obligation. Many seniors find greater happiness sharing time together while maintaining separate homes and independence. 3. Family complications. The third reason experts warn against remarriage after 60 is family. When a senior remarries, it's rarely just two people involved. Children, grandchildren, stepchildren. Suddenly a personal decision becomes a family earthquake. Grown children may worry about inheritance, emotional distance, or the intentions of the new partner. And legally speaking, the spouse often has stronger rights than the children when it comes to property, inheritance, and medical decisions. Even if your intentions are clear, the law may not always honor them without careful planning. One estate attorney shared a story of a man who remarried at 68 and intended to leave everything to his sons. But after his death, his wife contested the will and legally received most of the estate. The result wasn't just financial loss, it destroyed family relationships. And beyond money, remarriage changes medical decision authority. Your spouse becomes your legal next of kin, not your children. That shift alone can create tension and emotional distance within families. Senior life experts often recommend alternatives like companionship agreements, living apart together, or maintaining separate households. That way, relationships with children and grandchildren remain protected. 4. Caregiving burden. The fourth reason experts warn against remarriage is caregiving. One of the hardest truths about later life marriage is how quickly companionship can turn into full-time caregiving. Health can change rapidly in the senior years. A partner may develop chronic illness, mobility issues, or memory decline. Suddenly, retirement becomes filled with medical appointments, medications, and daily care responsibilities. Studies show that senior men carrying heavy caregiving burdens often experience higher depression, stress, and even shorter lifespans. Long-term care can also become financially overwhelming. Nursing home care can cost thousands of dollars per month. Without proper insurance, those expenses may come directly from retirement savings. Many financial advisors say they've seen retirees lose everything covering medical care for a second spouse. 5. Peace and independence. The fifth and most important reason experts caution against remarriage is peace. After 60, life becomes less about building and more about living. This stage is meant for freedom, hobbies, friendships, spirituality, travel, and personal fulfillment. Remarriage can sometimes pull men back into old roles and responsibilities they had finally moved beyond. Psychologists emphasize that late-life independence is one of the greatest contributors to happiness. Relationships based on friendship, shared interests, and mutual respect often work better than traditional marriages at this stage. Peace becomes life's greatest luxury, and it's something you shouldn't trade lightly. Final thought. If you're considering remarriage, ask yourself one honest question. Is this decision coming from love or from loneliness? Loneliness can be healed through friendships, purpose, community, and meaningful activity. But regret from the wrong marriage can last the rest of your life. The experts aren't against love. They're against commitments that take more than they give. So remember the 5 key points: financial risk, loss of emotional freedom, family complications, caregiving burdens, loss of independence and peace. Now I want to hear from you. Have you considered remarriage? Do you know someone who remarried after 60? Share your experience in the comments. Your wisdom could help someone else. And remember, you've already earned your wisdom. Now it's time to use it to protect your peace. Thank you for watching till the end. Please subscribe and like. See you in the next video.